Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Being Simple podcast. This episode will be about love languages, inspired by the book by Gary Chapman, The Five Love Languages. We will be sharing our own experiences, how these five love languages helped us to understand our relationship better. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Do you want to share a story or?
you go ahead. You start first.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And yeah, this is really nice to know about love languages. I actually just recently done it again. The quiz I did it online. Well, last time I did it, that was almost a year ago. Where okay, a little bit back to the first time when I did it, I found out that my love language was act of service, and then last 2 weeks ago, I I checked again. I did my quiz again, and surprisingly, I changed to quality time. That's a big difference. A big shifted inside of me. I think it's because I've been working on myself so much that I've changed. Everyone is changed, well, unless you chose not to, okay. And I chose to change myself. There's a lot of things that I work on myself, and yeah, I'm surprised. I was surprised to find out that my love language has changed, because I got to this situation where my husband Jake and I, we um we got into this argument. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Maybe we tell the five love languages.
Oh yeah, you want to say it?
Yeah.
Tell it.
Yeah. So there are five love languages
Sorry, guys.
because that would make things a little easier to understand.
Mhm.
It's quality time, personal touch, act of service, which is action speaking louder than words, words of affirmation, and
Receiving
receiving
gifts.
gifts. Yes, so
Yes.
these are the five love languages. So, like
Yeah.
Nuna was saying, hers has changed from the first time, second time it changed to. So I'll let her continue, but just wanted to point out.
Yeah, that's really thank you for sharing that. I can just go on and on and on. uh so yeah, I realized that in my marriage that I felt disconnected. Me and my husband, I felt like I was just busy doing my own thing, and then he will be to find something to make himself busy because I was doing something. So I felt like we are disconnected. We didn't spend much time together, like doing something together. So we are in the house together. He will be watching TV. I will doing my house chores, and then um, we only talk to each other like when he jokes around, or it's just like simple talk, but it's only very short amount of time. It's like very short, and then leave the room, and something like that. So I felt like, I said again, I felt disconnected with him. But at the time, because I didn't know my love language, I thought I knew. I thought I still the same person. I thought my love language still that act of service, but that's not. And my husband love language is physical touch. So I, yeah, I just there's something there that to me doesn't click. So I look it up. Mine, I did the quiz again, and surprisingly, that mine was has changed to these what do you call quality time. And that's when I realized, no wonder I felt disconnected, because my husband already helped me clean up. He sometimes clean the kitchen while I'm doing the laundry or ironing and something like that. But at the time, I was just like, still something not click in me. It's like, why I still like want him to do more. I don't want him to do more because he's gone for half of the time working, and I don't want him to be home and help me clean again. Like, I don't want him to have a double work, basically. So I want
So
him to rest. Yeah.
why would you say your love language changed? What made it change? Do you
Uh, my love language has changed because I work on myself. I dig deeper into myself. Like, I have a better relationship with myself since then, that everything has shifted in me. Where before I didn't know myself. Like, I think my husband know me better than I know myself. So since I learn more about myself, I love myself more. I understand myself better. So yeah, it's really changed everything in me. The things that I like, my perspective expand. Um, I can
and
see. Yeah.
did you see Jake's love language changing also, or his did not change because
No,
he was
he didn't change. He stayed the same. Yeah, physical touch, and that was like interesting to me to see that, like how I change and he stayed the same. So it's really interesting. And how about you? Like, what is your love language?
I've only done it recently, so I don't know if it has changed, but I think it has. So there is that book, right? But I did the quiz only recently, and my love language is quality time. And even before doing the test, I knew it was quality time. Even so, I said I didn't do the quiz, but once I found out about my love language being quality time, I went back to see my previous relationships, and I I saw so many signs of me getting triggered, or because there was no quality time. There was a lot of time spent with many people, but not quality time with me, and that was a big part missing in my previous relationships.
Mm,
And it's interesting because once you know that, and it's not just about knowing it, because you need to also communicate it. You need, if you know your love language and then you keep it for yourself, that's not going to help you. so
yes. Yeah.
so now that I know my love language and I know I have to communicate it, I see in general that things, I feel better because people around me know now that my love language is quality time.
Hmm.
And and there is also, this is also applicable to kids. So with Hugo, who is only 3, I I start to see his love language. It's still early to know for sure what's going to be, but I know for him also quality time is very important.
Hmm.
For the moment, that's what I've seen. So it makes things easier for me
Hmm.
to have both of us like love language being quality time. So I try to spend a lot of time with him.
Hmm.
Um, what there's something just I want to say is we have all the 5 love languages. We need all of them, but there
Yes.
are like this one main that comes. The main one for me is quality time. My number 2 is physical touch, and Number three is words of affirmation. And I think I when you think about it, it all goes together.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
It's like physical touch being second for me. If there is no quality time, there is no physical touch. So
Yes, the same. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's interesting. Um, it now just comes to me about before I was still like my love language still act of service, and I didn't know how to love my husband in his love language, because he didn't even did this quiz before. uh Last year he didn't do it, so I didn't know. I was just guessing that was his love language, physical touch. And to me, before I knew his love language, I serve him like in the way that okay, I clean the house, the house is spotless, or and I his clothes will be ready, like there's no dirty clothes. He will find his clothes ready to wear anytime. It's iron, it's a sleek, it's really like he's ready. You want to wear whatever clothes, choose it. I never let the dirty clothes more than a day. And I cook. He doesn't need to wait until he's hungry to eat, like, because I cook, I clean, I do everything, because that is, I thought, the best way to show my love language for everybody in the house. And I didn't understand that was just for me, not
mm,
for everybody. So yeah, it's like the way I show my love to everybody in the house is to serve them. And
yeah,
I was wrong. I was
you were
wrong.
you were transferring your love language to to them instead of understanding their love language, right? That's
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was confused in the beginning. Not confused. I think I didn't know any better. I didn't know. I only check on myself. Okay, this is my love language. So in order for me to show people love, that's what I'm going to do. Serve them, serve them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's complete opposite. It's
Yeah.
like you are satisfied when your love language is fulfilled, not
Right.
because you do it to others. Yes,
Hmm.
you want to do the same, but like in a couple, like I'm thinking, like what you are saying, you need to give the physical touch to Jake, and Jake needs to give you act of service. Then now
Hmm.
quality time.
Now, yeah, now quality time.
That we tend and I think that's just human nature, right? It's like, oh, I found my love language, so I'm going to do the same thing to everyone, not realizing everybody
Yeah.
has their own love language
Right.
and their own personality, and
Yeah.
it's not transferable.
Yes. Yeah, so this is now becoming funny story, because Jake and I, we don't fight, like we don't have like we argue, yes, but we don't fight like yeah, we just don't. But so when we have that argument, he will he will say something like, oh, you don't love me anymore. And I was like, how come you say that I don't love you? Look,
I
I clean, I cook, you don't have to do anything. He never done dishes, never in his life, until I got sick from COVID a month ago, 2 months ago. No, a month ago. Well, why I said 2 months ago? No, a month ago. He said like, oh my gosh, I didn't know doing dishes is not easy. Really? and then he's and then he's
he's a lucky guy. You do
yeah,
it with a smile, and it
right.
makes you happy because that was your love language. It's like
Yeah.
it's not extra effort for you. It's not like painful.
No.
It's not like
Yes. And he did laundry too. I was like, oh, okay. But that's when I realized, when I was sick, that's when I realized that when he's doing all of that, I really, really appreciate it. But there's something still like it doesn't match. It's just not click. So yeah, 2 weeks ago, I checked my love language and ta-da! And like, I'm changed. I love quality time now. Like, oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah,
probably because you spent a lot of hours with yourself when you were isolating, and
yeah,
you worked on yourself. You found a new Nanai,
mhm,
and you appreciated maybe also the time that you spent with your quality
yes,
time with yourself.
right. Yeah.
So anything can influence and change our love language,
Mm-hmm.
uh, life circumstances, that the work that you do on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and like we recently talked, the spiritual side, accepting also who you are. uh,
Yes.
so it's not engraved. it, uh, it's a continuous work, and it's very interesting. So now I did recently mine. So maybe next year, because now we are in December.
Yeah.
When we are recording, we are in December. So in a few months, I'm going to be checking if it's changed.
Yeah.
Maybe I get a surprise. That doesn't mean we don't like to receive gifts, or we don't
Yeah.
like words of affirmation, or the other love languages, but it's just our main one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now it's the third one was no, physical touch is my third one now. And so now, okay, the first one is quality time, second one is word affirmation, and then third one is physical touch, I
Physical touch.
believe, and then the fourth one is act of service.
This was the number one.
Yeah, and then the fifth mine is receiving gifts. Yeah, I was like, wow, how much I changed. That act of service was the first one last year, and now it changed to the number fourth. I was like, wow, it, it's crazy.
I'm just thinking about that. You tell me if it makes sense. It just came to me, like we talked about trust, about valuing your value and trusting yourself. Do you think the act of service came first because you thought you had to do this to get recognition? Do you know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
my love language before as an act of service that is come from my culture. In my culture in Indonesia, especially in my tribe, from my tribe, like I saw my parents how my dad is a king in the house and my mom was a server. She do everything in the house. So me as a girl, I need to help her to do everything in the house, from cooking, cleaning, like everything, every little thing that I we need to we need to serve the man in the house. So my dad never done nothing in the house, never ever. He never leave even a spatula. Never. He never go to the kitchen to cook. Never. But yeah, that's what I saw in my house when I was a kid. So I thought that is the way to live.
So it was
Um,
that's what I wanted to say, is like, could it be when you don't know yourself really, and you do this love language, you don't take your time to, and then you the questionnaire, the quiz, that the questions you answer based on what you grew up with, like
yeah.
and it's not really you. Maybe your love language was always quality time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just trying to, it's something completely new, we never discussed about that,
Yeah.
but maybe if I had done my love language last year, it would have been probably act of service as well, because I, like you, I was brought up in a culture where you have to give, you just give,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
then and 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 you like yourself is not that important.
No, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened in me. Like I give and give and give, and I was such a overdoer. As soon as I woke up, I already knew what I'm going to do. Pick up all dirty clothes, put it in a laundry room, and now I can do my laundry then, or maybe I can wait 1 hour later, but I am going to do something as soon as I woke up. I never took my time to just like, ah, thank goodness I wake up today with healthy body, healthy mind, healthy spirit, and just like, okay, let me go get my coffee, have breakfast. I didn't do that. I didn't enjoy. I thought I was enjoying my life at the time, but I actually didn't, because it's only what's next. Doing. Like after, even when I'm doing laundry, I already think about what I am going to do next. Oh, doing dishes. And then while I'm doing dishes, like, okay, what's what I'm going to do now? Oh, ironing clothes. You see, it's like I've never enjoyed my time. I've never really spent time with myself, or to get to know myself. It's a it's
And then
a
you had to isolate, so then it's like universe saying, hey Nanai, you need to stop. So
yeah. Before that, I already knew that I spend a lot of time with myself, like a lot of reflection to myself. Like I get to know myself better, but the overdoing is still there. Like I've never rest, never. I only rest when I sleep. See, it's like it's a. I tried so hard to stop doing. Well, that's always felt. When you try, you only get disappointed. So when you just be, that's when the magic start to happening in me, because I just be when I was laying down there 12 days. It's very long time for me to just there laying down. My gosh, it's a
so how
lot
was
of
how
reflection.
was the laundry load after 12 days?
At the time, to me, it was really peaceful, it bliss. I have no words to explain it, how that 12 days that changed my life. Like, I know sounds like, oh my gosh, you're too much, but really I felt something in me shifting. That's everything. It's like started to click. Then I realized that I've never loved myself like I said that I love myself. I've never truly accepted myself like I said I accepted myself. So being there laying down without no powerless, no energy, I can't even sit down for more than a minute. It gave me a realization that I am not my body. I am not my body. I am more than this body, tiny body here. So yeah, that's come to that deep for me, that I was like, oh my gosh. That's when all this loving unconditionally to myself started to happening, started to open up for me. And then I finally said, wow, I can love my kids unconditionally. I can love my husband unconditionally because I love myself unconditionally. Where before, when my husband doing something that I wasn't happy with, I would be pissed. I was like, dude, you can't do that. You can't throw your dirty clothes on the floor just like that. No, who's the one gonna pick it up? It's me. So I didn't love him unconditionally like I said I did. But yeah, that has changed to me when I got COVID. I felt like I was
You
dead at the
found
time.
you found your worth.
Yeah, I did. Yes, that's why everything has changed. Even my love language, I realized like, wow, my love language is quality time. And when I go out, this is crazy. Now it just comes up to me. Like I realize every time that I go out with Jake, like when we dress up, having lunch,
They
or yeah, we're going out date on a date and have a brunch or lunch or dinner, like dress up nice and cute. That's when I felt like I am I'm loved. And that's when I realized that, oh my gosh, he loved me so much, because he didn't really like to do that. He for him there's no point to go out. It's nice, but he rather stay home. He loved to stay home. Uh, to me, it's like, oh, thank you for doing this with me. But yeah, it's I didn't see it as a love language then, but now I see it like I truly appreciate it. Like I am in gratitude just to talk about it. Like it makes me so happy. I was like, wow, now I realize my love language has been quality time, but I never recognized it. That's why the what you said earlier. Yeah, I think when we didn't know ourselves better, that's we think otherwise. We think something else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not communicating our true love language, because
right.
if you don't know yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what you like or what you appreciate, what makes you happy.
Yeah.
So when you go through those questions, you don't give the real true answer, because you don't know yourself. So
Yes.
everything, it's good to have it, to know it, but like you said, it's so important also to, because we keep growing, we keep learning, we our so many things change in our life so often. So it's also very important to regularly check and
Mm-hmm.
please communicate it to people around you, so that they know what makes you happy, because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise you I mean, I know, I'm thinking of me. It's like I want something, but then I don't say it, but then I also expect the other people to give me what I want. But how can they give me something if they don't know what makes you happy? So I think communication and is important in all aspects of our life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying with the kids, how lucky I that's how I feel, how lucky I am to know this tool to understand the love language of my son when he's going to come, like, because like I said, he's still young, so he's still growing and learning new experiences. And it's like, if it's really quality time, maybe it's not, maybe for the moment that's what I feel, and be able to show him love with his love language is going to be a lot of, it's going to be beneficial, it's going to make him feel so he's going to feel loved, but in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a yeah, my kids, Jonas is he's a physical touch. Jeanette is word of affirmation. Yeah, it's for now. So we'll see if they are changing. So that's what I see now from them. Like Jonas just like love to be around me, just like hugging me or kissing me. Or when I kiss him, he was just like, oh. But with Jeanette, she is like when we just give her like, "Oh, you're so pretty," and then she was like, "No, I'm not." It's like it's just I know that she liked it, she loved it, but she just like embarrassed to say it. That's so funny. It's so cute that they express their love language in a different way. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
I'm so
What I was.
happy you said that. I am so happy you said that. Made me think of a conversation with my parents. When I was growing up, I was not an easy teenager, let's say, and I used to compare myself with my sisters, and felt I didn't think it was fair that the attention that my sisters were getting. So, but there were a lot of things around that. But just to tell you, but today I realize it's absolutely normal to have different way of expressing your love when you have two or more children, because each one needs to receive need yeah is important for them to receive their love language in their love language.
Yes.
It's not a generic thing. It's not like, because sometimes as parents I have only one, but I've seen around me it's like, oh, I have to do the same thing to each one. But in your case, like
No.
Jonas and Janet, is if you go and hug Janet, she's not going to. It's like, probably this is doesn't show that you are loving her as much as if you make her a compliment and say something
Hmm.
that she's done, which is good, and the
Yeah.
opposite for Jonas.
Yes. Yeah, that's why now, since I knew my love language is quality time, that I spend more time with them to get to know them. They said, like, we both know that we cannot give what we don't have. So now, since I know my love language, I know myself better, I can give love to my kids. I spend time with Jonas more, and like I will be like uh rubbing his head or just holding hands. And sometimes when, yeah, I take them to school, I we will holding hands. He will sit next to me in the passenger side. We'll holding hands, and then he will be like looking at me and just like admire me. It's like, oh, my heart melts. And with Jeanette, I will be like, Cece, you are such a smart girl. Like, you are such a strong girl, like, yeah, mommy, but I'm tiny. How come I'm strong? Yeah, because that's what you are. You see, like, you are doing gymnastic, you are doing dance, you are doing soccer. You do that all by yourself. Like, look at you. It's like, yeah, I'm strong. I'm stronger than Jonas. And then, like, no, we're not comparing. We're not comparing. It's so different. You are a girl. Jonas is a boy. No, we cannot compare. I said, oh yeah, so are you strong like me when you were a kid? So she's like, we have that conversation. It's like, that is so cute. Yeah. But to be honest, before, I don't have that relationship with my kids that way, because I grew up from that family that we're not having any conversation in the house. The only time that my parents come and talk to me, it's when I am in trouble. So I knew what's going to happen after my dad or my mom asked me something. What did happen at school, for example? Because I fight so much at school, you have no idea how much I fight. I was, oh my gosh, it's a kind of like embarrassed to say it, but
Yeah.
no, I'm just gonna say it. I fight so much, okay? I fight so much, and then my parents will come to me and they'll, and what did happen today? I said, oh no, nothing. And I said, nothing. Okay, he's going to grab a belt or a broom or any stick. He beat me with stick, or oh, I remember those moments. So yeah, we never have a like deep conversation. It's
Yeah.
only my dad told me, or my mom will tell me like, oh, you have to be a good girl, you have to listen. It's like simple things where me
Just
and
giving instructions,
instruction. Yes,
tell you
right.
what to do and what not to do. That's it.
Right.
No,
That's it.
not going
So
deeper, understanding,
mm-mm,
and
no, that's why it's so hard for me to talk in my language with my kids. I felt like nothing come out when I just like, oh, when I start conversation in my language, it's like I stuttered. It's like I don't know what to say because I felt it wasn't me. I don't have that experience how parents talk to the kid. I've never received that loving conversation. So I felt myself when I speak to them in English. And then now I spend more time with them, and just literally listening to what they say. I hear what they say instead of just like, oh, okay, you're just little kids, you don't know nothing. I don't do that. Like, that's so, I think that's all my parents taught me that. What do
yeah,
you know? Like, you're just a little girl.
I think unfortunately there are many parents around the world. It's not limited to one country, and
Yeah,
like we don't believe that sometimes our kids are here to also teach us some very beautiful and great lessons.
right.
But
Yes.
we it's like, no, they, some parents, so I'm not judging, it's just something to make you think of. Sometimes there are so many lessons to learn from small children, from in yeah, I think it's important to be open to all that comes our way, and
Right.
take it and learn from them.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the kids are my, it's a, how do I say? Yeah, that I learned so much from the kids. I am becoming a great example because that's in my opinion. Okay, that's in my interpretation. I becoming a person who talk their talk their walk. That's what I was gonna say. I'm, no, I becoming a person who walk their talk. that
Yeah,
that's that's because of my kids. um yeah, it's so many times that parents said, I always using my example with my parents, because my parents will be like, oh, you're not supposed to smoke, but my dad is smoking cigarette. Or don't drink alcohol, it's forbidden, but my dad occasionally drink
yeah,
uh alcohol. You see, it's like something like that. To me, it doesn't match. So I never have the choice, either or. Like, you do this or you don't do that. It's like, there is strict coinci- consequence if I don't do what my parents told me to. So yeah, I didn't have a relationship with them the way I wanted. And now as a mom, the I create a mother, a parent that I wanted when I was a kid for my kids. So it's becoming an example for them. Like, I want you to do this, but you know what? You have choice. This is your life. This is not my life. I just giving you examples. I giving you choices. Like, I help you expand your thinking, and I really talk to my kids like adult. Like, I don't treat them as a little kid, don't know nothing. I really being open with them. I said, I always give them an example. What is the consequence if they are, like, for example, climbing the stairs? You can get hurt. You can fall, you can get hurt, or you can be fine. You choose. It's I'm not going to tell you again, like, do not climb, because the more I tell you to not climb, you will climb more. So you choose, but you will get the consequence. And yeah, they listen more than, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that,
Because
uh,
you respect them, and then you're giving them the possibility to make their own choices, because it's when we
yes.
make our own choice
Hmm.
we also become responsible. So you are teaching them responsibility already at this age.
Yes.
And we talk a lot about ripple effect, and this
Yes.
what the consequence it will have in their life and what they will bring in others' life. This is amazing. I mean, this is what we are here for. It's not like
Right.
just get over with something and then choose the easy way, and then you shout and then you punish and you stay in
Yes.
that corner. But instead taking the time and going and uh, like training them, it's take time. I heard somebody say that you take time to train them, the kids, I mean. And then of course even us, we need to hear things a few times sometimes before
Yes.
it gets in.
Hmm.
Like in this program that we are in, it's like, oh, I heard that I think 100 times, and 101, after having heard it for 100 times, then all of a sudden it's like,
I get
now I
it.
get it.
Yes.
That's our a very famous. It's like, now I get it. It's like, but then if it for us, sometimes it takes us 100 times to hear it. We
Mhm.
also need to understand and be patient. Like, why would a small child get it at one time? Like you expect, like you say something and then they got it,
Mhm.
but you don't get it after 100 times. It's like, not being fair there. So
Right.
take the time to do things repetitively, and then creating this ripple effect for a better world, I was going to say.
Yes. Yeah, that's really, it really is. And I now I see Jonas is like, Jonas and Jeanette, they are becoming an examples in their classrooms, at school. Like, Jonas taught his classmates, an entire class, to meditate.
Wow,
Like, yeah, he
that's
said, yeah, and then he said, oh, let's just do mommy's way, my mommy's way. I was laughing when he said that, like, mommy, I taught my classmate, meditate in your way. I was like, okay, what is my way? He said, uh, take a deep breath, hold, let it all out. Yes. And then that's so funny to me. I was like, oh my gosh. And the teacher was there. The teacher also, like, let him be. And I was so surprised, because not many teacher let that happen. Well, I guess I just thinking when I was a little kid, or maybe I'm sure it's different than my teachers. Yeah. I didn't know a lot of about American education. So yeah, so that's funny when he said that, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize that he really doing this at school. And then when he have argument, and Jeanette will say, is this really what we are talking about? uh no, Jonas, this is just your opinion. And I was like, oh my gosh, my kids, they copy me, no, Jonas, this is just your opinion, and we can choose anything, right, mommy? Oh yes, you can choose anything. Yeah, so,
That's
oh my gosh,
great.
that's so funny.
That
Yeah.
is
That's very interesting. I can't wait until Hugo is a little bit older and he
Yeah,
knows things.
I don't know if we talk about that, but I also taught Ego since this summer breathing, like, and because he's young, so it's difficult for me to explain, like, hold it and everything. So I use the hands. It's like we breathe and then we let out, and then we do
That's
10
so
like that
cool. Yeah.
every day. And this is, I mean, I myself have said that so many times, and I've heard so many people say I cannot meditate. It's not like I cannot meditate, it's just we are not used to it, so we think we cannot do it, so we don't even go and try or make an effort to, even if it's wrong, the wrong way, because you think there is a wrong or right way. Actually there is no none.
Mhm.
But so we limit ourselves and we don't go. So I'm happy. Like I remember when he did it for the first time, and now some days where when he's in bed and he doesn't want to sleep, and he himself he does,
Oh.
and then he said,
Oh, sweet
okay, now I
Hugo.
can come out from bed. He's like, no, no, we're still going to bed. But
That's so
but
sweet.
yeah, I know.
Oh. Oh
But
my gosh. I just love him so much, the way that he talk and showing me pictures.
yeah,
Like, it's so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sweet. Oh
Yeah,
my.
he recognized your voice now. So
Yeah.
mm,
Oh,
right.
sweet
So yeah,
Hugo.
that was
Yeah. So yeah, it's really a lot to talk about when it's love languages. It's really start from you, from myself. That's what I recognize it, and when I go dig deeper into myself, I found the answer. I I didn't look for the answer outside anymore. I don't look for the answer outside myself anymore. Yeah, and since I love myself, I can love others. Yeah, that's what I get from this book. Yeah.
so that's very interesting.
Hmm.
So maybe also now that we connected, also because we spend a lot of time together,
Yeah.
and I consider this like a very special quality time
Right.
because we talk, we share, yeah. So we will be, maybe we do is we will put we don't have any partnership with this book or the author,
No, we
but
don't.
just because it helped us. So we're going to put the link if you want to go and do the quiz
Yes.
in the notes.
Right. Yeah.
This
It's
is
really
just
important. It's really
sharing
important.
something,
Yeah.
sharing something that worked for us. So
Yes. It's really nice to know yours. So it really helpful in a relationship. It doesn't matter you have boyfriend or girlfriend, or you have wife, husband, you, or yeah, like we talked earlier with the kids. It's really important to know your love language. Like that you can create boundaries, and plus you love yourself. You know how to treat yourself. You can now treat yourself better than anybody else. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, do you want to share the takeaway?
I think the takeaway, like you just said, you summarize it quite well. And there is a lot of things that we talk about, but knowing your love language is important. And my biggest takeaway, I keep saying it because I missed it for 45 years. Please communicate your love language once
Yes.
you know it. Uh, don't wait for 45 years like me, and also use, if you see anything that's going, use it also with your children, because it's going to make them more balanced,
And feel
more,
loved.
yeah, feel love, peaceful, and they will be able to transfer that with other people.
Mhm.
So I think we today, when we see what's happening in the world, we really need that
Yes.
sense.
So yeah, I hope I want to mention this that I apologize that if you hear any noises from my side, it's because I have kids in and out the house, and they're creating noises even after I told them to not. So I
They
apologize for
made
that.
the choice.
Right? They made their choice to not listen to me. I was like, okay, great, thank you, kids. So yeah,
Yeah,
if you hear the noise, that's from my kids, you guys, and I apologize for that. And thank you so much for being with us today. Yeah, thank
thank
you,
you. Thank you very
thank you,
much.
and
All
we'll
right.
see you in the next episode. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.